that long video, you would think someone who has all that information, someone who's actually can back up of what's been going on, what's been happening, of repeating patterns. That's exactly why a lot of folks have left me alone. Is because of right there. And that's actually not a bad thing. But like I said, I still have that. But then I had to add new things to it of who else was on that. That explains every pattern, everybody who was involved of doing repeating patterns. When I started to post that, everybody like disappeared. That's what I was talking about. Some people who did not know, that's what I mean. I will literally make people famous if I have to. And actually, that is my testimony of what I've been put through, what people have done, like I said, like repeating patterns. And a lot of folks thinks, you know, blah, blah this and blah, blah that. But common sensely, if you look at that, you would think to yourself, why are people messing with someone like that? That's why a lot of folks stopped what they were doing. When I really started to speak, that's what I'm talking about. Because I started to speak up, I started to reveal names of people, showing their faces. Every event that's happened, every hit out on me. That's why a lot of folks don't get involved. So, that's more documents and proof, and that's what I said. The names and situations are starting to stack up pretty highly here. And I don't mind it, you know, that it's stacking like that. Because it's more proof and evidence. And at first, people had a hard time understanding me until I fully went into details about it. Then when I started talking in ways that freaked and spooked people out, that's when others didn't want to have no part in it. Because they didn't want to be associated as crappy people. And there was a lot of people joking, making ha-ha and hee. Once they seen everything like that, these people were not laughing. They took it very seriously. And this is when people started to realize I was not the issue and the problem. That I'm not coming out here starting crap. That's a lot of events that others have put me through. And there's a lot of people at fault for almost causing my death so many times. That's what I'm talking about. And I did say if I could find it, I was going to post it on here. Of how many times there's been a lot of different repeating patterns. And that's what I meant. And it took me a while to find it, but I got it posted up so that others can understand the very seriousness behind what I post about is not something people should ever put themselves in the middle of. And others were not listening to me. So then I started to gather proof, evidence, and facts. And that's what got most of the people to back off of me and to leave me alone. Because even some of the people that I named on there, they knew they were guilty. They knew they were. So that's a lot of proof and evidence against a lot of folks. I've already posted up a lot of people's names, and there was more there than that. I also got that proof too. There was a lot of people over Facebook and TikTok as well too. You would think common sensely, if somebody's got that much proof that can be backed up, you would think people would leave a person alone. And that's the thing now. Most of the time, I got ignored. So what do? Or what did I do? I started to keep a documentary about it. Because you cannot come out here and complain like that. So I started to keep what I could, spoke upon it, shared about it, and kept a documentary. And remembering certain things and patterns, people's behaviors, people's threats, people's involvements. That's what I meant. That I will make people famous if I have to. And a lot of people may not like that I posted that up. And pretty much all right there, that video I just posted about, is how many times people has committed conspiracy, homicide attempts, murder attempts. So many times upon my life. People doing community mobbing, community murder, gang stalking, RICO acts and organization, and enterprises. That was all caught. And that was not easy to catch. Like I said, that was a lot of things. That's why most folks leave me alone. And people knew that's a lot of names stacked up. That's like a lot of cases stacked against others out here when they don't realize it. And I'm the type to where if you threaten me in any way, I'm just going to add you on to my documents. If I see a repeating pattern, and the repeating pattern is that trying to send people to text me, trying to send people everywhere, trying to have people, her flying monkeys, smear campaign, narcissistic abusive people, abuse by proxy, premeditated murder, homicides, attempts. That's a lot of people that were involved, that were trying to take my life for a very long time. And I do have a right to post that up, because I mean what I say. I do not play around with people messing with my life out here. And it makes people rethink their actions. Even though they're going to try to do things in secret, but they're still going to get caught. Whatever happens in the dark will come out to the light.